hello there. Oh, we've bumped my. There we go, Janet.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jason. The channel is. It's probably okay. This is Janet.
Hi,
Was
baby.
finally wanted to get up and sit with me. She really wants to go hide under the desk, but she. Oh God, no. Don't lick the inside of my mouth again. Thank you.
Oh.
That was horrible. So we are playing the. Okay, there she goes. Bye. She's like a weasel. Just gets down under the desk. Weirdo. We are playing Urban Shadows 2nd Edition, the Kickstart rules that came out recently from the Kickstarter that Magpie Games did, and it's a pretty neat game. I think there's a couple things in it that we all have our peccadillos about, but we're putting together a fun story, and I'm loving it. So, thank you all for joining us this morning. Let's see. I'm gonna start down here with Jay. Jay, who are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Holtham, and today I am playing Belle, an imp using the imp playbook. So a former, well, not former, still a demon, but a demon businessman, an entrepreneur, if you will, running an emporium of some cursed items. Some are not. Some are totally not. So you could definitely come in and buy some stuff called Belle's. And that's who I am.
Cool. Also, we'll talk to Blythe next. But Jay, if you have any more output on your mic, that'd be great.
Oh, sure.
Blythe.
Hello. I am Blythe. I am also very tired, but hello. I am playing Celeste the Vampire from the French Revolution, who is more or less very out of touch and doesn't really care about what's going on in this city.
And who also has a very good Twi'lek accent.
Yes, which, if it doesn't start working out a little smoother, will probably disappear. But we'll see. We'll try.
We're all flexible here. Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja. I'm playing Asmita, who is kind of, under contract to an Asura, like you do, and can turn into a horrifying panther snake. Also, like you do. I mean, just total, normal, everyday things.
It's a nightmare. It was like leopard, serpent. What part is serpent?
The top part, my head.
But you have 4 legs.
So it's kind of like, the idea is that I'm still humanoid.
Oh, okay.
Ish. But
So
bottom part leopard, mostly top part like snake.
But anthropomorphic leopard.
Mm-hmm.
So like Thundercat plus 1 snake, like from the neck up.
Yeah,
Is
like
essentially
my
a snake.
shoulders go into, and then the head goes out and comes, towards you.
Horrible. Okay, great.
Literal nightmare.
Yep. I love it.
Love it.
And Joey.
Speaking of literal nightmare, hi, I'm Joey, and I am playing Ryan Rosenthal, the Fae, who is currently planning a super sweet Beltane party, and kind of being a bit of a Faezilla, but if your last one got ruined because some vampire decided to break the rules of hospitality, you'd be a Faezilla too.
This is
There
good.
were people there who needed their blood consumed.
I'm happy to fill in the gaps, but would anyone like to attempt a recap?
I mean, I can try.
Fire away.
Well, it started with us all at Bell. Well, okay, 3 of us were at Bell's Emporium. Joey was off planning a party. And Belle the levelers came in and were like, hey, you have to keep this super secret. Assassin's Creed gauntlet safe for us because you owe us. Keep it in a safe. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. And the rest of us all saw that and we're like, what are you doing with the levelers? And Belle was like, don't worry about it.
As you do.
Yeah. And then Joey continued to plan his party and got mad at Kyle, the assistant. And then the Pixies were like, hey, we want to murder someone. And Joey was like, crap, how do I do this to where they're not my guest and I don't have to follow rules of hospitality? So Joey made his way back to Belle's. Meanwhile, all of us at Belle's, a vampire comes in named Lena and is like, hey, Belle, you were trying to scheme. No, she doesn't say that, but she's like, hey, you owe us this amulet thing. I want to see it. So we didn't know how much it cost. And Belle was like, I don't have it yet, but like, let's say it costs 2 debts to like get it, and then 3 debts total if you're interested in buying it. And they were like, whoa, that's not the price we agreed upon. And so Celeste the entire time is just trying to read this woman's documents and doesn't really get involved for a while. And then Asmita is like, I want this woman's pen, so I'm going to use my powers to make a contract with everybody because I want this pen because it's shiny.
Technically, my Asura wanted the pen.
Yes.
Like Ritra was like whispering in my ear. She was like, you know what? That pen for a debt.
So
I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this now.
Okay, so we're doing this.
Yep. And
So
also, we're all doing this.
yes.
All of us.
Not all.
Yeah. So
Oh, just you wait.
the 3 who were in that room all signed this debt so that Asmita could get this pen for the Asura. And now we all have a contract bound to this very powerful vampire. And then finally Joey shows up, laughs at all of us because we're fools. And then is basically like, can someone help me find a mortal? And a wannabe vampire kid walks in and Celeste is like, there you go, we can murder him. And that's about where we left off, I think.
One thing you leave out was my very intense conversation with a caterer and about tablecloths. I felt was very important.
That's right. You didn't want red tablecloths, you wanted white tablecloths?
And might have accidentally kind of threatened his very existence in the process of getting them, which is fine. He made a contract, he just had to fulfill his contract.
Seems straightforward to me.
And Mrs. Lane has the amulet, who is a very powerful wizard and has a grudge against Belle.
That's right.
And that's right. I exchanged some information about Ms. Lane to Celeste to get her assistance in getting the dead body.
Yeah.
And I will give that information as soon as the Pixies have murdered Kyle, or whatever his name is. Kyle.
Kyle. Whatever Kyle's name is.
They're all
Murdered
Kyle.
this Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle, Jedi Master Kyle. Worst.
Kyle.
Also, in the chat, welcome. I almost said welcome. It's probably okay. Nope, that's me. Welcome, Nightshade, Doko Canada, obviously, as always. Thank you so much. And Ignatius Wang, Eli, thank you so much for coming by. It's so nice of you. We are going to kick off a little bit with a time passes type thing where we you do the faction moves. We'll take a faction turn in the quick start rules, which this part is super new to all of us, so bear with us as we kind of figure out the rules on this. We've all read it, but we've not actually done it, so it's gonna take a little bit of coordination here. We are suggesting that now. Well, you're supposed to have this amulet in 3 days, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? Yeah,
so,
that's what we agreed to.
Assuming that you weren't going to just run out and do it without getting any information, I'm thinking of this time passes as like a couple of days. right? Normally it's meant to be longer than that, but you're in kind of a time crunch, and that would then bring us into game on like the beginning of day 3, unless you were hoping to get started earlier than that. Then we can move this around.
I mean, we were doing some recon, and I was getting the information from Joey, so I feel like we were prepping okay because we were like,
Yeah, and a lot of that would happen in this
Yeah,
faction
yeah,
turn.
let's. I think we're okay to start the game there. Yeah, just getting the recon, trying to suss out where, or at least a general location for Mrs. Lane's safe and all of that.
Yeah. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, I've got a little custom move in mind that, based on how our faction turn rolls go, we'll either have 48 or 24 or 12 hours to complete what to acquire the amulet. And so that'll represent like how quickly you were able to gather all the information that you need to set up and go after this thing. So how does that sound?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So when time passes, the MC conducts a faction turn. PCs make city moves. Your moves are on page 14 of the quick start. Each PC makes a number of moves equal to their highest status. I'm pretty sure everybody only has one status dot at this point, so you're all going to make one city move. The MC then chooses one faction from each circle to highlight. The factions are going to be... oh, come here, notebook. I set it on my desk this morning because I was like, I'm going to want this for the game. And then put it just out of reach. I don't know why I'm like this. Let's see. From power, I'm definitely going to talk about the wizards. From wild... Well, I think we have to talk about the Fae.
Probably.
Right, because there's that whole Beltane thing, right?
Yeah.
With night, let's see, we could talk about the vampires. I think that probably makes the most sense, actually, because they're also... Yeah, because Elizabeth and Lena are vampires, and yeah, there's a whole thing going on with that. So vamps. And then from Mortalis... I am actually going to obscure the knowledge of what faction I'm representing from Mortalis. And you all would know if it was like the Hunters or the Oracles or, whatever.
Are the Levelers their own faction?
They're part of Mortalis. Yeah.
Oh, but are they a faction of Mortalis?
Uh-huh. Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm going to leave it as you all know something is going on with Mortalis, but you're having trouble pinging what's happening. And so I'll also leave that out there as like you're aware that there's some sort of rumbling in Mortalis, but it sort of feels like it doesn't affect you, which is why you're not... I don't know. You all can decide how you feel about the fact that there's this information that's obscured. But... let's see. Size 1 to 2 organizations make a single faction move. Okay. And then size 3 or 4 organizations. So then the wizards and the vamps are going to make 2 moves. The Fae are relatively small just because of how they're positioned. There's a lot of Fae, just not here. But there are plenty of vamps here. So they'll get 2 moves. And the mortals get an unknown number of moves. Okay, now, initiative order. There's an initiative order for this phase. It goes Mortalis, Night, Power, and Wild. It's alphabetical. Thank you. The MC gives the players rumors based on the events of the faction turn, according to the status the PCs have in the various circles, along with the outcomes of their city moves. The The PCs then make the rumors move, in which they can cash in debts, offer debts, and mark corruption to set the stage for the next session. Okay, so let's start with your city moves.
Okay.
So while you're deciding, for folks at home, the city moves include things like weaken someone's standing in a circle. So you can try to attack with rumor and gossip. You can put out the word that you need something. You can consult your contacts to try to get some information. And you can tend to your business, which is kind of just keeping your head down and trying to stay out of the way and not get in trouble, but you're also not going to get much out of it. So, yeah. Oh, welcome back, Legally Blind Lurker. Always nice. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so does anyone know which city move you would like to... Okay, well, actually, let's do it in this order. We don't have any Mortalis players. We have one Knight player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Celeste, what is your city move?
I'm trying to find them.
They're
It's
on page
14.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. That's not anywhere near the faction moves. Okay.
No.
Nope.
Okay, that's what I was like. I'm on the page for the homework. What's happening?
Well, see, it's
Why wouldn't
14
they-
and 24. Obviously, it's a clear link.
But like, you only do the city moves during a faction move, so why not put the city moves after you talk about the faction turn?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah. It's fine.
All right, so
I feel like I'm just gonna consult some people and kind of find out more about why they want this amulet.
okay, consult your contacts, and you want well, let's see, if we're talking about the amulet, you could either roll with your status in Knight or your status in Power, and you'll get different answers depending on which one you choose to roll on.
Status in Knight. Thank you.
Okay.
Ow.
I mean, it's only a +1, right?
Yes, but that's better than a 0, and I have a -1 to power in terms of knowledge, so I feel like I'm not gonna do that.
Wait, no, there's no minus applied to this.
No,
It's-
I said in knowledge. I just feel like power is not a thing Celeste knows.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Let me not roll this with the half glove on.
You can offer debts to a contact 1-for-1 to ask additional questions on the list, even on a miss. Yeah, okay.
Cool, so that's an 8.
Okay,
Yes.
so on a 7 and 9, you get to ask one question, and you could offer more debts. Is there a particular contact you have in mind, or are you just kind of pinging the vampire network?
I'm gonna say, because you know how I established that there's like a nightclub that's kind of in town for a nightclub.
Nightclub, yeah. Yep.
So many things. For where vampires can go feed, people can come and consensually agree to be fed upon by vampires. And I think there she would kind of like schmooze a bit with some of the other vamps, like talk to them, kind of
Okay.
see if you can figure out what Elizabetta is up to.
Oh, okay. So we're actually these are questions about Elizabeth.
There are questions about, like, yeah, so what has Elizabetta been up to recently?
Okay. Okay, so
And some dinner in
what
chat.
what has Elizabeth been up to recently? Elizabeth has been dabbling in magic, right? And a lot of vampires, like, there's all these rumors of, that Dracula was had all these magic powers and whatever. But most of the vampires who are out there who have all these abilities they could do, it's not really like magic spells. But the rumor is that Elizabeth is working on some sort of like she's researching magic. No, they're not really sure why, but that's what she's been up to lately. She's researching magical rituals.
Okay. That's weird.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, oh, what if we were magical at one point and at some point it got messed up?
Could be.
Thoughts?
Hard to know. That would have been before your time, certainly, but
Oh, yeah.
because
So,
you're only like
I feel like-
300 years
I
old,
feel
right?
like that's, yeah, did the math. I'm somewhere like 230 something. 260 something.
I meant to ask last time, has Celeste turned anyone? Has she sired anyone?
Oh, I'm sure at some point. She doesn't do it often, though.
Okay, maybe there's 2 or 3 total.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 or 3 total. It hasn't. She tries to avoid it because it's kind of like she's not a big fan of it. I feel like if she did it, it was for a survival purpose or like because someone wanted, like, it was probably a mutually agreed upon thing. Otherwise, she tries to not do it.
Like somebody asked to be turned.
Yeah, or
Okay.
like they were dying or something and like asked for this favor, and she was like, "Fine, I will do this for you, but you only." So it's 2-3 tops.
Okay.
But I kind of like the idea that in this world there is like a rumor that at one point vampires were magical, and it isn't unheard of for vampires to try and tap back into that. Whether or not that's true is a whole other thing, but it could be a fun little story thing.
Yeah. How do you
It's
feel
like-
about having a Dracula mythos in the background?
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm totally good with that.
Cool. I usually prefer that one over the I mean, I also like the what's the one around the crucifixion of Christ. There's like a character around that's like a core vampiric story sometimes.
Barabbas?
Maybe, or I know sometimes people talk about Lilith as like an original vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Lilith is considered the mother, is kind of like the mother of all these creatures. So
Right.
like vampires, witches, Lilith is supposed to be kind of the one who created those basics after she got screwed over.
Okay. We'll leave that as deep rumor then.
Yeah. Lilith is like origin. Dracula is probably like he was real for sure.
Yeah.
But we don't know a lot of details about him anymore.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then like Lilith.
Sungrowler. Thank you. Longinus, the legionnaire that stabbed Christ. Yes,
Oh.
that is the character I was trying to think of.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think that is sort of the boogeyman story, for vamps. Dracula was definitely a real person as far as we're concerned. Maybe is still around, but you're pretty sure Van Helsing got him. So that's what everyone thinks anyway.
There was definitely when you're a young vampire, people try to spook you with Dracula as still alive, but you're like, no one has seen him for years. Like,
Yep. Okay, so great. That's Celeste's city move. So next would be power. We don't have any power players. Oh, the rest of you are all wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Okay. Let's roll initiative.
Oh,
Everybody
all right.
just roll 2d6 and add your. Well, does everyone have one wild rep?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so roll 2d6 and add one.
Wait, do you want the rep? Yeah, the rep is 1.
Rep,
Never
yeah.
mind. Okay. That's a 5 total, so we're doing real good.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 10 total.
I got an 8.
Okay, fortunately, I'm not taking any hard moves on this, Joey. So
Let's-
we'll just go Pooja, Jay, Joey, or Asmita, Belle, and Ryan?
Ryan.
Ryan, okay. So, Asmita, what city move would you like?
I am going to consult my contacts in another circle.
Okay.
I want to know why Vritra wants this pen so badly. It's obviously more than it seemed at first, especially because Lena was so unwilling to give it up until I made some pretty big promises there. So
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know what exactly it is and where it fits into this whole
Okay.
business.
Okay, but it sounds like you're still sort of asking in your own circle. Or is there specifically out of your circle someone you want to talk to?
Well, I suppose I thought I would ask in the night circle because it came from the vampires.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And if I knew more about the artifact, I might be able to connect those dots there.
Okay. Great. And I think also maybe the assumption is if you poke around in night, Vritra is less likely to know that you're poking around. Does that?
Yes. Well, I mean, anything that would allow me to not attract her attention would be for the best.
Gee, why? Okay, so let's go ahead and roll plus your night rep, which is probably 0.
Mm-hmm. And I got a 7.
Okay, so you get one question.
I get to ask 1.
Or you can offer debts and get more.
Okay. I want to ask, is it okay if I kind of veer from these questions that are...
Yeah, I mean, let's use those as sort of a jumping off point.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask, what has...
Could do something like, what has the pen been up to recently, or who is responsible for the pen?
I'm kind of who is responsible for obtaining this pen for the vampires? Maybe that's the best way to get the information I want. I want to know. Actually, a better one would be what have they been using this pen for? If that's okay.
Yep. Yeah, what has the pen been up to recently?
Yes.
All right, so were you going to a particular contact or kind of asking around trying to get a collated data?
I am going to say that because I actually have very little knowledge in night. I actually have a -1 in that circle. So I don't know a lot of people to pull or whatever. I just have 1 or 2 contacts that I've met through Celeste.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to one of them.
Okay. So the all right, yeah. Well, you got the 8. So the you managed to track down a vampire who is a so one of the what they call trash collectors, right? They go around and pick up bodies when they need to. And she's this big 6'6" sort of Gwendolyn Christie kind of build, right? And she's trying to understand your question at first. She's like, what a pen? What are you talking about? And the realization comes over her face, and she takes a step back and she says, "Do you mean the finger of the scribe?"
Yes.
What? Why? No one has seen that in years.
Apparently, some people have.
Okay, well, look, I can't be the one to tell you about this. And so right now I'm offering you she's sort of answered your question of like that this is a mythical object to the vampires. And if you can offer her something debt-like, she's ready to tell you more, but she's really hesitant.
I can use my... Look. If you tell me what I need to know, I will use my contacts to improve your station here. I mean, you don't want to be a trash picker for the rest of eternity, do you?
I didn't want to. Jeez, I screwed up one time 5 years ago, and they said I would have a temporary punishment. And Christ, I'm still picking up bodies. I have plans. I could do more than this.
Of course you could. You're so much smarter. You're so wasted here.
Okay, how tall is Esmita?
I'm gonna say she's like 5'10".
Okay. So if this gal, let's call her, I think she's just called Chris. Let's say Chris with a K. She reaches out to just put a hand on your shoulder. If that's all right?
Mm-hmm.
She says, Esmita, if you can help me move up, we could be very helpful to each other, I think.
Of course.
Okay, so look, you didn't hear this from me, because that would just send me further down the track that I'm on. But, supposedly it was made from the finger bones of Dracula himself. I don't think that's true. I don't even know where the rumor started, but that's the idea, is that it has some, I don't know. He gave them the finger, and I don't know how that would be. As far as I know, like, personally, I don't think Van Helsing took him out. That guy's family is a joke, which you can decide how you feel about that. But Chris is not impressed with the Van Helsing legacy. So that's what I can tell you. I'm sort of surprised you're asking about it, because it's like the Holy Grail to not that everyone wants it. It's just is like a made up thing that at least I thought was made up. If you're asking about it now, I don't know, but
Well, research is research, right?
Yep.
And
But
what's
I
important
would
is
love
that
to know
we-
if you find out more about it. That would also give me more leverage in my position here.
I'm sure it would. But remember, we never had this conversation.
Perfect.
And we'll soon be seeing each other in different circumstances.
Cool. And she does a perfect sort of squat, literal deadlift as she hauls a canvas-wrapped body over her shoulder. And, sort of nods at you and heads out of the, of course, ubiquitous alleyway that is everywhere. This city is 45% alleyway by volume. Dark alleyway.
Naturally.
Okay. Cool. Have I satisfied your questions?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Oh, also, Celeste, I realized we did something wrong. It's supposed to be consult contacts in another circle, like other than your own, which we don't need to change what you did today. I'm just thinking for next time we'll have to remember that's what it says.
Okay.
Okay, Jay, what do you want to do?
All right. Hold on. I had it here a second. There they are. I think that I want to consult my contacts in the power circle, but I've got a -1.
Well, but that's just your rep that you're rolling.
That's my
your
rep, but
knowledge.
I don't have any status in the power circle.
Yeah, so that's just 0.
That's just 0,
Which is
but
better
that's
than
what I'm doing
-1.
because I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out where Ms. Lane might be keeping this amulet.
Yeah.
So that I can steal it from her and now not be damned by this contract that I did not wish to enter into.
That's fine.
For a pen.
Everything's fine.
Technically, it's not damned. You would just be grievously wounded.
Yeah, that's worse. You see how that's worse. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to try. Let's try it.
Okay, go into the power circle.
All right, so now I do my rolling. Ooh, that's an 8, so it's a hit. Huzzah!
Okay. You get to ask one question.
Let me ask, what has Miss Lane been up to recently? Maybe that will give me some evidence of where she has it or what she's going to use it for.
Sure. So Miss Lane, Mrs. Lane.
Mrs. Lane, sorry,
Yeah.
Mrs. Lane.
And she's always quick to correct people too. So we're not imposing something on her. This is like her,
Oh yeah, no.
I had it the other way around in my notes. I had that we had called her Mrs. Lane and we were corrected to Ms. Is it Mrs.?
Yeah, she corrects people to Mrs.
Okay.
She is very clear about being a Mrs.
I
haven't seen a Mr.
Yeah, that is a curious component of that is maybe she just prefers the term. Maybe there is a Mr. Lane and we've never met him. That,
not gonna ask.
Is there a second Mrs. Lane?
or another Mrs. Lane, certainly.
Yes.
Or M. Lane. But what has Mrs. Lane been up to lately? Mrs. Lane recently acquired from other members of the power, so it wasn't like some sort of lowercase p power move. It was just a regular sort of real estate deal. But she acquired the whole top floor penthouse of one of the tallest buildings on the power island, right? Of the 5 islands that are there. And the that's the kind of the biggest thing, and that she's been doing something up there. Like she's been moving in and doing all this stuff, but it seems like she's also like she's just somebody who has a lot of experiments going on all the time. Like she's not quite mad scientist, but she is, as a wizard, she's part, like potion maker. She's like really into the sort of trappings of wizardry, as opposed to, being out there in duels and, trying to, she doesn't really even lead the wizard faction. She's just very highly ranked. But most people believe she's not in charge because she's chosen not to be in charge. Because she's just got shit to do.
Yeah.
And if you want to owe some debts, I can give you more information, but don't have to.
Let me look at my debt track here. You know what? This is important enough at this point, so I am willing to put out a single debt.
Okay.
All
right. So now I need to know who your wizard contact is.
My wizard contact, let me see. My wizard contact is... is a wizard named Abe. But they are non-binary. I've known them since the beginning, so they go way back. And they deal in potions.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's why they know Mrs. Lane fairly well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I think there's probably, it's equally well known that Mrs. Lane makes all this stuff kind of because she's crafty and like she's a maker, right? Like that's her thing. She doesn't really care about selling it. She also, like, one of the rumors is that she's figured out how to transmute gold and
Right, of course.
is just independently wealthy.
Of course she is.
And, you know, so fine. But the thing that Abe adds, because he's been up there to pick up, to like buy potions from her in bulk and then can sell them around the city. They say Mrs. Lane, it seems like she's been setting up like lightning rods or something on the roof of the thing, because the couple times that Abe went over there, she was like coming down from the roof, and like when it was raining the other day, she like came down and was dripping wet, and but it was totally oblivious. She was just in that sort of, absent-minded professor, borderline, not manic's the wrong word. I don't want to use that lightly, but she just oblivious to her soaking wet clothes and whatever else, to just come in and make the deal with Abe, send them on their way, and get back to her work.
Got it. All right. This is interesting.
But Abe couldn't see what she was working on.
Okay.
Just that there was a lot of, like, there were some things in boxes that were like labeled lightning rod on the box. And,
Check me lightning rod.
Spools of like power cable and stuff sitting around her like half unpacked penthouse apartment.
Like the full Frankenstein starter kit.
Kinda, yeah. A
couple Tesla coils, one of those big switchy thingies that you flip. And,
well, he didn't see. They didn't see that, but yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, cool. Frankenstarter. Okay. Ryan.
Yeah. So I'm not sure which move this would be, but I want to make sure that the Beltane event goes off without a hitch. It's a super success. So I don't know if that's 10 to your business, or if that's just something that we roll separately.
No, I think it's 10 to your business, because you're focused on your own circle. You're
Right.
not trying to weaken someone in your circle, and you're not trying to get something from your circle. I think it is kind of attending your business.
Great.
Because this thing is just absorbing your attention.
My entire life, one day during the year, I have to actually be useful. All right. Oh, that's lovely. And it's with my status?
It's just roll. It looks like there's nothing to add to it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still a 10, so that's nice.
It's a 10. Okay.
It's a 10, yeah.
Okay, on a hit, an interesting opportunity presents itself to you. The MC will tell you what you need to do to seize it. And then on a 10 plus, which you got, ask the MC a follow-up question. They will answer it honestly. Okay, we don't have to worry about a miss. Although the missed text is good. An NPC interrupts your ordinary life to cash in a debt, mixing you up in a mess within your circle you'd rather have avoided.
That's beautiful.
Well, we know what that would have been.
Right.
If Beltane had gone poorly.
It would have been awful.
So let's see. I'll come up with an opportunity here, but let's start by saying the Beltane celebration, or observation, I guess, went according to plan. You were able to get Kyle to the Pixies without violating the laws of hospitality, and that worked, right?
Love it. Okay.
And there won't be a body left because the pixies are thorough.
Mm-hmm. Can I make a suggestion for the opportunity?
Yeah.
Since I was able to get the pixies what they wanted and they seemed relatively satisfied with what they got, maybe, I don't know if they owe me a debt or something, I can like have them as a contact or something along those lines.
Yeah, let's add them as a contact, because this doesn't suggest. Yeah, an interesting opportunity is, I think, a little lower rung than
Sure.
An actual
Than a
debt.
debt. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the pixies are certainly someone you could call on to. Yeah, that's a contact that is available to you.
Okay,